Welcome back once again, folks. So we are going to be diving deep into Synthetix network token. We have a lot of things to talk about and certainly a lot of data in our plate. So without any further ado, guys, I'm going to be pointing out towards the first fact right here, which is the market capitalization of Synthetix. It is at $1.1 billion with your total circulating supply sitting in at 114 million Synthetix tokens as a whole, right? Now, the only thing right now which is kind of surprising to me is the fact that almost $1 billion worth of Synthetix have been logged. They have been staked. Now, essentially, that means that 75 to 80% of the Synthetix network token available in the market are simply staked on Synthetix network itself for all the governance and all the staking rewards and everything like that. Now, essentially, we don't have much supply going on Synthetix as well. If we just want to go ahead on an exchange and if you want to buy Synthetix from Binance or something like that, maybe if, let's just say, if there is a huge retail influx on Synthetix network token in terms of the buy side liquidity, maybe we will face some supply shock. Maybe the price action will go through crazy amount of short squeezes in the future contracts as well, because we don't have much Synthetix available in supply, guys. We have 80% of Synthetix which is already under circulation being staked in Synthetix network, which is why just 20% Synthetix available, right? Now that's kind of bullish stuff, and I do not mean to induce any FOMO into your brain. So this is not a financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. I'm an analyst, right? If you want to consult any financial stuff, maybe ask your financial advisor, or maybe you can hit me up on Twitter itself. Links will be in the description, right? Oh, well, all right. So now, with that said, we're going to be diving deep into some historical data coming from into the block on Synthetix network token itself. Now, what we have seen is that whenever there are at least 86% addresses which are in not profit, essentially that is when Synthetix is kind of formulating a bottom, a good looking bottom in terms of the price action as well. As you can see back during the last, alright guys, literally the last year, same time last year, we had at least 80%, 85% of the wallets which were in losses, which are completely underwater. And that is when Synthetix put in a market bottom, right? That was your $2.7 regions. And after that, we went for all the way towards $26 Synthetix. So this was like a 10x right off the bat as soon as you saw this kind of signature happening in terms of the historical in and out of the money, in terms of the holders itself. Now, what are we looking at right here, guys? We kind of had a similar situation on, let's just say, the June of this year itself, where Synthetix was somewhere alongside your $6 to $6.5 regions. You had 80% of the wallets out of the money. You had 80% of the wallets which were underwater and completely under losses. And well, I think, yes, we are kind of reverting from the mean right here, and we're kind of trying to go to the upside, at least in terms of the USD pairs, guys. Now, there are a lot of bullish things which are happening on Synthetix network token, but yes, there are some bearish perspectives as well. Once we compare Synthetix price action against BTC or against Ethereum, that is where the real bearishness starts emerging. But we're going to talk about that in a while. Before that, let's just conclude right here, guys. We are looking like a similar kind of signature in terms of the historical in and out of the money addresses, right? So most of the holders on Synthetix network token are in losses. This is potentially where the market is going to reverse. Oh man. Sometimes you just got to think about think completely opposite in terms of what you have to figure out in terms of the market direction, right? Now, essentially, most of the people being in losses would give you the first instinct and maybe the hint towards the fact that maybe everybody's going to be selling the next leg to the upside. But essentially not, guys. Market is essentially going to test the max pain areas of most of the holders, and if those areas are able to hold in terms of the technical structures as well, that is where you establish a good looking base and then you revert. Now, you got crazy amount of data, guys. We can talk about these things again and again, because these signatures in terms of the historical break-even prices as well is kind of similar, guys. Most of the things are aligning to the fact that maybe we are looking at a replication of what happened literally 1 year ago on Synthetix itself in terms of the price action. Now, with that said, we're going to be diving deep into the price action channel itself. This is coming from KuCoin, guys. KuCoin has most of the history on Synthetix token, and to be honest with you, last video I posted on Synthetix, I was talking about the fact that how we do have a good looking buying opportunity right here on Synthetix, guys. Now, essentially, for these kind of trades, But look, guys, I'm not going to be that confident in terms of the price action overall. But in terms of the risk to reward opportunities and in terms of the market landscape as a whole, potentially once we start resolving this grind to the upside, you could be looking at potential fireworks coming on Synthetix network token, and that could take the price action all the way towards the channel highs, guys. Look, essentially, I can talk about these crazy price action targets, which are, well, 10x from the current levels again and again without any basis. But guys, to be honest with you, Synthetix has done that again and again, and I don't think it needs to prove us one more time. It really likes to reside beneath a grind line right here. When most of the market stays volatile, this one wants to get reaccumulated, to be honest with you. So every single time you're having these contact points in the bottom side of the channel, you are looking at some crazy amount of buying opportunities. But for this one right here, guys, we got a little bearish cross on the weekly time frame itself. This is happening between the 21 and the 55, which is going to give you early indications of the fact that maybe the price action could still stay below the 55 simple, guys. Now essentially, what is happening right here is the fact that the 55 simple is kind of aligning with this grind line as well. So what do you need right here in the market? Patience, guys. Patience, right? Once you see Synthetix establishing a trend, a good looking trend above $13 on a weekly basis, most likely that is when you would start trending all the way towards at least the middle side of the band itself, which has been there for a very long time, right? At least this is going to be your first target, and the continuation trend would take the price action all the way towards maybe, look guys, if we keep on extending the dates right here, the time horizon right here, the price targets keep on extending to the upside. So essentially, if Bitcoin actually goes to 200,000 or something like that, I mean, again, guys, these numbers are quite far-fetched, and as an analyst as well, it's quite funny to talk about these numbers, right? Now, anyways, if Bitcoin quite literally does that, Synthetix will have that ultimate target towards $150 levels, and that might shake your brains out. Most likely, guys, this is what is going to happen. You could be aligning your structures with your Fibonacci extensions as well on 4236 or 7.618. Now 7.618, because this is kind of aligning with the upper side of the channel itself right around these levels, and maybe the first and the second week of January is where most of the crypto assets are going to be at their climax. So until then, you are kind of squeezing below this grind line. Once you resolve this one, I don't see anything stopping Synthetix against USD to simply rip to the upside. Okay, now we are going to get into the bad side of things, guys. Now, this is not bullish from any angle whatsoever. Just by looking at the technicals right here, Synthetix on BTC, even the logarithmic charts right here, is breaking below some key supports, guys. Now, this is... I won't say this is like a good structure right here, but in the small to mid time frames, you could expect some bounce to retest these regions right here, and this is where most of the evaluations are going to take place for Synthetix itself, because this retest is going to be really important. If we are unable to take this one to the upside once again, most likely Synthetix will keep on rolling down, guys. And there's one more thing. We've lost the 618, we've lost the 768. We are at almost the 0.86, guys. This is literally at, alright, we're not almost there, we're just there, just wigged at 0.86. Now, these are your ultimate deep retracement points, guys. You could talk about 0.994 as well, which is almost at the 0.1 extension right here. But, guys, essentially, this is your deep retracement point. Now, out of any bearish wave, you retrace for 86% downside. I mean, that is not that bullish, guys. Now, that picture as a whole is not going to be that bullish, right? Which is why, if I were to be choosing between an investment, let's just say for the coming months, guys. Now, I'm not saying that I'm going to be choosing Bitcoin over Synthetix all the freaking time. Look, guys, these altcoins against BTC can simply rip to the upside in one single month and just cover everything they've lost during that liquidation cycle, right? Which is something which could happen once again in the market for Synthetix itself, guys, which is why I'm not going to fight Synthetix against BTC as a whole, because these stupid piece of craps, they can't just revert from any price point, guys, to be honest with you. Once the overall altcoin market landscape kind of changes towards the bullish ends, these things can simply revert the fuck out of anywhere, guys. This is what happens in most of the altcoins against BTC, right? Which is why I'm not going to simplify that one, but I'm just going to keep this information right here as a directional bias indicator. Now, against BTC, certainly, guys, for the small to mid time frames, certainly Bitcoin is a better investment than Synthetix. Once we take out, let me just get into the weekly time frame, and we'll see the 21 simple. Yep, you can see, guys, how this one is smoothly trending beneath the 21 simple itself on the day. Is the simple? I think it's the exponential. Yep. Now this one is the exponential. So the blue line is the 21 exponential on the weekly, and this is kind of slipping and sliding alongside the 21 exponential to the downside. That is telling us that this is not, well, no shit, guys, no shit, right? This is a simple looking, good looking downtrend, and until you are below the 21 exponential on the weekly, most likely you will carry your trend to the downside, guys. But remember, you will always have those bounces. You will have those nasty little bounces that will reflect on the USD pair, guys. Now essentially from these levels, if we keep on bouncing towards the 21 the exponential again and again, that's a 60% move to the upside. That, if you compare that price level on the USD pair, we're going to be targeting a $16 Synthetix maybe by November itself, right? Because of these anemic bounces coming to small to mid time frames right here, guys. So essentially, I'm not going to fight this trend. I'm just going to wait this one to resolve, but most likely you will keep on dripping to the downside. So in the small to mid time frames, just to conclude right here, maybe Bitcoin is a better investment than Synthetix itself. That is coming to me as a surprise as well, guys. That is what it is. But essentially, look, you can talk about the USD pair channel, and this is what is making me bullish, guys, which is why if I were to be looking at my US dollar ROI, not the Bitcoin ROI, if I just simply look at the US dollar ROI, I'm going to be simply bullish on these levels, guys. It's just as clear as it can get, because most of the contact points that were aligning with this entire channel low has been proven out to be a good risk to reward opportunity again and again in the market, which is why this will make me bullish in terms of the price action. Now for the most bearish chart of this entire analysis, guys, this is Synthetix against Ethereum, which is quite literally capitulating as of now. This is a good looking steep downtrend, man. Holy shit. Let me just invert the chart and give you guys a little perspective. What we're doing from these levels is that we're printing in a double bottom and simply roll it to the upside, for which you'll have your upside targets all the way towards these levels at first, and maybe the bottom side of the range as well. Now that is extremely far-fetched, guys, but these patterns, they do resolve out very nicely. This is what I've seen again and again playing out in the market as a whole. And we got a little cup and handle as well. The right, all right, not the shoulder right here, but the handle was a little volatile. But yes, this one is working like a handle, and this one is telling us that maybe this trend will keep on continuing to the upside, which is why we're going to be inverting our charts, and we're going to be talking about 886 coming first. And then maybe, guys, look, Synthetix against Ethereum could keep on trending down all the way towards these levels, right? This is what is your ultimate target. Most likely this is where you could convert your Ethereum into Synthetix. Now you can, guys, look, you can have crazy amount of edges in the market, you can do crazy amount of abracadabra shit in the market to make money, right? Now one of those things is just playing against Synthetix and Ethereum. Just keep on shifting between Synthetix and Ethereum, just to increase your Ethereum stash, or maybe just to increase your Synthetix stash, so that you can cash out at certain point. A lot of things, guys. Just be creative with all of these things. Figure this out on your own. Maybe this will help you out in making good decisions in the market. But for the time being, Synthetix against Ethereum is looking bearish, which is why in the small to mid time frames, well, Ethereum is a better investment than Synthetix. With that said, I'm going to be winding up this video, guys. This video was supposed to be 2 minutes long, but I think we are 12 minutes down the line as well. So I'm going to be talking about a lot of crypto assets coming down the line. Until then, I'm going to be catching all of you in the next video pretty soon. Bye for now.